It looks like Marina Mabrey has finally broken her silence about shoving Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark took an elbow, an eye poke, and then a full-on shove to the floor. Yet, Marina Mabrey stayed in the game after only receiving a technical foul. Hours later, the league quietly upgraded her foul to a flagrant 2. Now, Mayberry is talking, and the timing? Suspicious. Why now, with growing conversations sparked by a Wall Street Journal piece about whether Clark is facing unfair treatment in the league? Could this be about more than just a dirty play? Why do you think Mayberry is breaking her silence all of a sudden? Let us know down in the comments below. Most people saw the shove. That's the clip that exploded online. But the chain of events that set it up actually started minutes earlier during the June 17th game, when J.C. Sheldon's hand raked across Caitlin Clark's face in the middle of a scramble for the ball. Clark wasn't out of position or making a reckless move. She was battling for possession, exactly where you'd expect her to be when Sheldon's fingers caught her eye. The crowd's first sound wasn't outrage. It was that sharp mix of gasps and low groans you hear when something looks serious. Officials were right there. Crew Chief Ashley Gloss later explained their judgment before the sequence was reviewed on replay. They eventually upgraded Sheldon's foul to a flagrant 1, but that call came after the fact. In real time, the game rolled on. That sent an immediate message. The foul wasn't severe enough to stop play right then, even though fans courtside were already leaning forward, murmuring about what they'd just seen. On the broadcast, frame by frame, Clark's head jerks slightly from the contact. She steps back, then straightens, without theatrics. No rolling around, no exaggerated reaction. Just that steady, locked-in stare she gets when she's refocusing. That composure is part of her appeal. She let the referees handle it, or at least trusted they would. The problem is, in that moment, they didn't. And when a player of her profile doesn't get instant protection, the game's temperature changes fast. That unspoken, next one's gonna be harder energy started to creep in. In all sports, when officials miss or delay addressing a dangerous foul, someone else eventually takes matters into their own hands. By the time Sheldon's flagrant 1 was officially on the books, the damage wasn't on the scoreboard. It was in how both benches now understood the physical limits might be looser than usual. The Fever kept glancing at the officials after whistles. Every possession had an extra edge. That eye poke stuck in everyone's mind. It felt like the next big collision was only a matter of time. And that's exactly what happened. The shove that flooded timelines didn't come out of the blue. It came after minutes of simmering tension that the early non-whistle had allowed to build. So, why? With that flagrant already recorded, did things still spiral? And why did Marina Mabrey decide she had to step in? Mayberry's response came fast. She's sticking to one explanation. She was protecting her teammate. But when you slow down the sequence, the claim doesn't quite match what actually happened. After the eye poke incident, Clark gave Sheldon a brief shove during a dead ball. More of a frustrated, get that out of here, than anything meant to cause damage. Sheldon barely moved. She was upright, steady, in no danger of falling. Within seconds, Mayberry arrived, not to stand between them or guide her teammate away, but to lower her shoulder and deliver a full-body shove that knocked Clark hard to the hardwood.